Hey everybody, how you doing tonight? Welcome back to Veteran Talk, episode number 11. We've actually survived this long with nobody canceling us or me getting in trouble with DMCA, playing some music that may or may not have been, legally authorized, shall we say. Got a good show for you tonight. Got some oddball topics. The show that was originally planned, unfortunately, my co-hosts were forced to cancel due to personal reasons, but we are going to reschedule it maybe later this week or Monday of next week. That topic is going to be about the LGBTQ issues that are in and around the military as a whole and their experiences with it. So I can't wait for that, to be quite honest with you. But in the meantime, we've got some great topics tonight, some sad news, some funny stuff, and a serious endorsement for the Toyota Motor Company. But we will get into that here shortly. Right now, I've got Raven Nevermore again as my co-host. I welcome her. Thank her for being here. Raven, how are you doing tonight?
I am doing good. How are you?
Surviving another day. Yippee.
Woo.
And Recoil's hiding out in here, but he's got his mic muted for whatever reason. He may or may not pop in and out throughout the show. Who knows? So, but we'll see how it plays out, and hopefully we get have some fun here.
It's
So
not nice to be the creepy lurker, man.
I do that all the time, like it
I'm
or
I'm
not.
not creepily I'm not lurking. I'm just not speaking because he was doing his intro.
Well,
Creepy lurker.
if I knew you were going to be here, I'd have introduced you. Everybody, let's say hi to DV Recoil one and only, the greatest. He needs help more than I do. Guy on the planet. Hey, Recoil.
What's up? I am gonna disconnect real fast though because you are sounding like a serious robot in my Discord. I don't know how you sound on stream, but
Oh dear, that's
serious
not going to
robot
be
here.
good. Let me turn that on. I can't. Where's my? I don't have volume control. Yes, I do.
You sound on stream, but
Oh dear, that's
serious
not going to
robot
be
here.
good. Let me turn that on. Oh no, the stream sounds good.
Yeah, that's a recoil because I just turned you up. I don't hear a robot.
Okay. Well, that's a good sign then. So we're going to continue with the show, people. Pardon me. All right.
It's actually better now. Now that I reconnected, you sound better.
Oh, cool. Hey, everybody. Thanks for stopping in on the channel. I appreciate having you here. Don't forget, you can hop in chat if you so desire. We can talk and discuss things. Or if you really want to, you can hop over to my Discord channel, which is Dark Sword Live. Do a search for it. You'll find it. And also, I have a Reddit now, subreddit Veteran Talk. I am trying to get on there at least every other day or so and post something of note, trying to build a community there as well. So, but in the meantime, thanks for that host there, Recoil. It didn't even chime in my ears. What's going on? Gotta love these things. So, all right, off to the news we go. Sad day. It's been reported that the last surviving member of the Band of Brothers, Easy Company, has passed away at the age of 99. Those of you who have never seen the miniseries Band of Brothers, I highly recommend it. It's based in World War II, and about the airborne infantry, specifically the 101st Airborne. Great cinematography, great actors. And there are interviews with some of the surviving members when it was shot, which I think is just beyond cool. But, I'm a geek like that. So sadly tonight we were saying good farewell to Colonel Edward Shames, Easy Company 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne. He passed away quietly at his home. We're surrounded by family, of course, and we wish him well. Hope to see him in Valhalla when we get there. But this is why we call this the greatest generation. We want to be hardcore, but these people were beyond anything that we've seen, with our military in this day and age. but I'm not going to get into the delineation of the differences. They said he passed away at his home peacefully in Norfolk, Virginia on December 3rd. We will see how that, I don't think that they've identified when he's going to be interred or where. Unfortunately, I'm not close enough to drive to it, or I would definitely be there. If you're in that area of the world and you catch this in time, try and look up and see if you can be there for his services. Um, let's see. He was very stubborn and outspoken. He earned respect of his men. He was an NCO, but he was the first NCO in the 3rd Battalion to receive a commission while in Normandy. So he got pinned as a second lieutenant while he was on the battlefield. He volunteered to join the Army's newly formed parachute infantry in August of 42. Now, you got to think about this. Jumping out of airplanes with parachutes was not something that was done on a regular basis in this country or even in the world at that point in time. But somebody in the military said, if we get these people and jump them out, that, we can get them behind enemy lines at night and they can wreak havoc and do all this other stuff. They were right. It did help. No question about it. Let's see. He was also stationed in Germany. He was the first member of Easy Company to enter Dachau just days after its liberation. So Dachau got liberated by another army unit. If you have Netflix, you can. I forget what the unit is off the top of my head. Forgive me for those, but it's called the. There goes my brain. Ooh, thanks for the raid. Appreciate that. Come on in. We will be able to. Oh, thanks for the follow. I appreciate that as well. Why am I not getting any? Somebody talk for me other than me. See if I can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Testes.
What is going on? What the hell? My headset's screwing up. Try again.
Hello.
There you are. Maybe that's the problem. All right. Silly headphones must have turned themselves down. But I appreciate the follow. Maybe I'll hear anything else that happens. This unit not only jumped the night before D-Day, but they were in. Where did they go? I think I passed it. Sorry for scrolling so fast, everybody. I apologize. Oh, he participated in Operation Overlord, which was the invasion on D-Day. Pegasus and Market Garden, as well as in the Battle of the Bulge. Just to even watch a recreation on TV, to me, doesn't do justice to what these men saw during World War II. Anybody have any comments want to add to this?
Yeah, actually. Just so everybody knows, yes, Seamus was on the show Band of Brothers, but they actually portrayed him in a not so true light on the show. It has been commented on by past members of Easy Company that they actually made him seem more of a jerk off than he really was. But anybody that served with him had said that he was one of the finest NCOs, finest officers. I want to say that he was an officer. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he was the final surviving officer. I think there's actually still one surviving member of Easy Company.
I
From
read
the
that.
article I read.
Yeah, there's conflicting, conflicting reports, but this is the one that, this is from War History Online. There may be some other enlisted that are alive. I don't know. By the way, let me cut in here. General Spare Ribs. Love the name. I need some of those. Actually, I prefer baby backs. Thanks for hopping in the chat. I appreciate seeing you there. And for the, I think Jay Curry followed me. I appreciate that. Let's see. What else do we have here? All right, go. Yeah. Uh-oh, your RAM is dying. That's not cool. Yeah, get that fixed quickly. You might still find some good come on, brain. Black Friday deals or Cyber Monday deals in some locations, online. So where am I here? Okay, there we are. Yeah, he was an NCO to begin with, but like I said, he was promoted to officer while they were still at Normandy before they moved inland. You've got to know that any show that you watch, any kind of recreation, always has some artistic license. Hey, everybody, thanks for stopping in with the raid. I appreciate having you here. I do hope this is informational and even kind of fun. I've got two co-hosts tonight. I've got DV Rico 1 and I got Raven Nevermore in here. Right now I'm running my mouth, but Rico was nice enough and put in some nice information there. I do hope that everybody knows that sometimes these men may have been hard, but they just they did what they had to do to survive. You can't argue with that, no matter how you look at it. So, all right, on to the next one. Sadly, now politics aside, take the politics out of this. Okay, this is a fellow veteran of World War II. He passed away at 98. Okay. He had a distinguished career in politics to some extent, but I don't want to have anybody go that way with the political crap. I want to stay with this. All right, he's a World War II veteran. He is a veteran. He just like us. He did his time. He served, and he sadly has passed away. I don't, again, know of any services that are scheduled for him. I didn't really read a lot of this.
That one will be huge.
Yeah.
It'll be all over the news.
No question about it. Looks like he passed away on Sunday, so just yesterday. He had a career serving the United States, 79 years, according to the tweet from Elizabeth Dole. We can all only hope to go in our sleep. Excuse me. This I did not know. In February 2021, Mr. Dole had been diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer, which you hit stage 4, your days are truly numbered, as sad as that is. So, again, don't want to get into his politics of what he did. Just, I want to pay homage to a fellow veteran who has fallen and thank him for his service. Hey, Viper, thanks for the host. I appreciate it. Anybody else have any comments on Mr. Dole passing away?
Nah, I don't talk much when it's all sad.
Here's another one, but all right, not sad, but we have a veteran who's 100 years old has returned to Pearl Harbor to remember those who's lost. And now that we hit Pearl Harbor, let's go ahead and say it. Tomorrow is the anniversary, and to all those that lost their lives during that cowardly attack on military forces in the Pacific we thank you all for what you sacrificed and your family sacrificed. Um, but Seaman First Class David Russell sought refuge below deck on a battleship Oklahoma. I know that was one of the ones that was hit before it sank, and there were several sailors that were trapped, and I want to say it was within 24 hours or so. They were able to cut them out and get them out of the ship before too much was done. But there were a lot of sailors that lost their lives when that ship went down, even though it was in port. Let's see here. Yeah, within 12 minutes, his battleship capsized under the barrage of torpedoes. 429 sailors and Marines from Oklahoma perished. From the Oklahoma, excuse me. Correct that. It was the greatest death toll from any ship that day, other than the battleship Arizona, which lost 1,177. Can you imagine having the what's the word I'm looking for? The intestinal fortitude to go back 80 years later and look over the location where you lost your buddies and whatnot. Got to be very difficult for him, but I hope the best for him. Now to some more fun stuff. Hello, Marines. Got any Marines watching? Chime in. All right. Unfortunately for you, they're not teaching you how to make your own crayons anymore. But in basics,
God, they're teaching them to forage.
Yes, they are. And now this is basic school. This is for the officers because every officer takes care of their enlisted. Can you hear the sarcasm?
Mm-hmm.
Now, the Marines have decided to add a foraging class to basic school. Now, they're bringing it back. They used to have this. What they're inferring is that there are going to be places that they're going to put Marines, and they're narrowing it down to the South Pacific and trying to get them to survive long enough to, not need to be resupplied. They're going to be on recon missions of sorts, hit and run type of stuff. Oh, Discord's not. Oh, of course, Discord's not cooperating with you. That's just the way it works. It's all good. We have MREs and other things. There were sea rats before that, and there were ways to get that food to the military members in the field. What they're wanting to be able to do is bring back the ability for these officers to be able to hunt and gather to survive in remote locations so they don't have to be resupplied, so they don't have to give away their positions. Of course, there are a lot of things that, what's going on with my chat?
That's kind of an interesting thing to be happening in this day and age. Just saying.
It is, but and of course they're looking at the South Pacific, so that means the Pacific as a whole. How do you want to look at this? Do you want to look at this as this is preparation? Because the last time we went to war in the Pacific, the Japanese had spread out to every island they could get to.
I mean, we could either do it the tinfoil hat way, or it just makes sense to be able to take care of yourself without, in case you got lost or separated and you couldn't get to a supply drop. But it's just an odd coincidence.
Well, that's just it. And we keep going down here. They're saying it's nothing new. It's just something that they've added, put it back in. Because where'd it go? It's farther down. Yeah, okay.
Maybe there isn't Crayola companies in the Pacific, so maybe that's what it is.
Well, we are having shipping problems. Yes, Jay, the military being proactive. Everybody fall down. Mark it on the calendar. But you know, they're right. You know, if you're going to send in teams to islands and locations that you want them to stay hidden and collect information and things like that, logistics becomes an issue of being able to get them fed and, you know, medical supplies, things like that. So having them trained to understand what they can and can't eat is a good thing.
I mean, it's the Marine Corps. They would put anything in their mouth. So I guess I do understand that.
Well, that's not entirely true, but I'll go with you on that. So I get where they're coming from. By the way, Recoil, you might want to try restarting the program or your computer, both, and see if that helps. Not that I want to lose you as a viewer, but you know. Let's see, what do you have for me, Jay? Military. Let's see, Sears School has been foraging. Maybe they want more special ops oriented Marines. Well, very possibly, but we're talking the entire officer corps of the Marines was they're going through basic school. They are all learning this now, mind you. It's not even a full day. It's like 6 hours. They get like 2 hours of training in classroom and 4 hours out butchering a pig and fish, I think it is, or something like that. But if you want to keep these people hidden for large periods of time, then, or long periods of time, they have to be able to fend for themselves in more ways than one. So I don't know what is being planned, but something's coming up, and I'm not going to tinfoil hat it. Yeah, there's that. Like I said sarcastically, you know, it's like, here, let's teach the officers because they're going to take care of their enlisted. We know the truth, those of us who've been in. Honestly, they're talking about adding it to the basic training for enlisted. So we'll see how that pans out. Everybody, if you're going to be, pardon me, possibly put into that situation, everybody should know how to do this. Okay. So if you're going anywhere, it's one officer. You know that. You know, you're not sending 2 or 3, 4 officers on a single mission. It doesn't work that way. You got one officer and then whatever enlisted support you need to have there. That's just the way the military works. So you're right. Guess who's going to really be doing the forging while the officer tries to figure out where the fuck they are and how to communicate, if they can even communicate. So
I mean, we always make the joke they're too busy being lost. So maybe it's just so that when they're lost, they can eat. I don't know.
that might be it.
We know how those lieutenants love to get lost. So I mean, and it's a running joke, but at the same time, it really isn't, because how many times do you hear of a story where so and so got lost and the sergeant had to come find them or something? So maybe this course should be for the sergeants.
Oh, it happens all the time, and you know it does. You know it. I can't even begin to. If I did the research, I'm pretty sure I could pull up 1,000 stories that happened within the last 2 years.
So, I mean, it does make sense, but it doesn't. And like I said, I'm not trying to go down the tinfoil hat road because I'm in a pretty decent mood and I don't want to go there today because my brain doesn't need that. Just a weird time to be implementing something like that when they're taking out, like, you know, they've taken out like shark attacks and everything else. They're like, on one end they're trying to make the military stronger, but on the other end they're trying to make it so sensitive that you can't yell boo and drop and give me 20 now without getting putting some captain's office getting yelled at for giving basic training troops PTSD, in their words, not mine. So it's like a contradictory of everything else they're fucking doing.
How were 18
That's just my
messages
opinion.
deleted by a moderator? I'm the only moderator. What?
Oh, that's a bot. Why is it doing that?
Oh, shut up, Streamlabs. I apologize. Let me see. Delve in here real quick, maybe if I'm lucky. Shut the. Why have I been logged out of fucking Streamlabs, bastards?
Welcome to any freaking veteran show that I've ever seen or been on. Excuse us while we have technical difficulties because things never go the right way. We will be with you shortly when we break our fucking computers and figure it out.
Pretty much, yeah.
You know how many shows I've recorded for a podcast and went back, and even though they were recording, they didn't record, and I had to start all over. And it's never funny the second time when you say the same shit.
Of course. Go ahead and try it again and see if that helped. Let me just turn the damn bot off. There we go. I'll go back and play with it later. Stupid bot. Hi, welcome to the channel. Thanks for stopping in. Okay, so we're done talking about the Marines and the possible invasion of small Pacific Islands by, 5-person teams. Here we go. This is probably the ultimate thing Toyota needs to use for saying that, our vehicles are the best on the planet. Toyotas of War is a photo archive that we never knew we needed. Somebody, and we'll get to him, has been cataloging photographs of Toyotas in war zones. Okay. Yes, Toyotas are dependable, affordable, and abundant. There's no joke about that one. In fact, there was even a Toyota war fought in the late 80s between Libya and Chad. Think about that. There was a war fought over over Toyota. That's fucked up. I did not know about that one. One man, Chris, 26, has made it his life's work to chronicle the use of Toyotas in combat with his Instagram page, which we're going to go check out here. All right. I mean, can you think about this for a second? You're not even talking armored vehicles, but you see it in, videos of the Middle East. They're not rolling around in Mercedes-Benz and all this other shit. They've got Toyotas. All right. Here's proof. Fucking anti-aircraft gun in the back of a Toyota.
Oh God! The only thing that would make this picture funnier is if the TO had faded off like it does on most, and it just said Yoda.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a pretty stout truck because that piece of equipment is not light. And then when you load it down with ammunition, I mean, you're probably bottoming out the suspension, and they're going to run this around all over the place.
I'm reading the comments. Shock absorbers are unsung heroes of this setup.
I'm sorry my bot bullied you. So yeah, you do have some information. All right, I hear it. What is it? Mini Cooper 13 is now following. Thank you, Mini Cooper 13, for the follow. I appreciate that. Hi everybody, welcome to the channel. You missed the down part. Now we're on the up part. We're checking out Toyotas of War, which is an Instagram page. Go check it out and follow it if you want to. Some of these are really going to get good, I think. I've looked at a couple, but that's where I stopped. But this is absolutely, I mean, seriously, this should be the commercials for Toyota. Okay. Here's a Toyota Land Cruiser 200 series with a retractable 50 cal gun mount.
I mean, who doesn't want a 50 cal?
I mean, they're everywhere. They're, it doesn't matter. I mean, Toyota is all over the damn place. It just blows my mind. Surf's up.
I was going to say, I really, really like how there's just a freaking surfer dude in the back.
Now, that's the thing.
These people are idiots.
Well, apparently, according to the title, this is in Yemen. I'm not going to try and pronounce the district. In 2002, surfed the entire coast right after 9/11. I believe it. Okay. But I would bet money that that is a special that's an operator right there who's just been fucking around in Yemen and trying to blend in. Because I'm going with the whoever's in the passenger seat in the cab is not a local either.
We're just not going to read too much into this one. We're just going to say there's a surfer dude, and yeah.
And here's one. It's the Helix, which is the uh, crew cab version, I suppose. Stuck in the desert. Oh, it was a Black Friday sale, 15% off everything.
Okay, then.
I mean, here we are, operational on a trip, and let's see, 2009, 2 consecutive ambushes on Toyota armored S2X cells. No one from the S2X was injured despite the massive small arms and grenade launcher fire. That's phenomenal. Whoever they had armor those up needs to get a bonus, no question about it.
Armor up your Yoda. I could see the country boys doing that.
Well, if they were courtesy of Ollie North and they went from South America, I think it was, is where that whole bullshit went down. But, you know, Lord knows everything that goes south of the border ends up somewhere else on the planet. It's just kind of the way things work out. Now, yeah. Okay. Now, this is, let's see here. This thing was protecting an U.S. Army convoy carrying out an operation in the desert from about 3 clicks from the Iraqi border. Think about that. These are the people who are protecting the army, rolling around in Toyota pickups with mounted armor, and I'm not sure that's the Russian 50. I think that's the Russian made 10 mil or what, a 12.5 mil. I think it is actually.
Oh no, the flurry's blurry. The photo was blurry, so I didn't get to see.
Yeah, special operations vehicles going somewhere in Syria. Oh my God, I'm dizzy looking at that one. The 79 series Buffalo, built by Proforce, built for Nigerian airfield defense.
Very interesting camo pattern.
Yeah.
It's making me a little woozy.
We shall move on. But I mean, think about this. That's a Toyota Tacoma. Yeah, no question about it. I mean, you see these more overseas than you do here. Oh, got more people watching. Hey, thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Yes, Iran Contra was Ollie. No, you're right.
We're old. Our brains get a little scrambled.
Mm-hmm.
Too many head injuries and other problems.
So yeah, that was Iran Contra deal. If memory serves, that was South America. Or no, that's Iran. Never mind, my brain. You're right. See, scrambled.
Yeah, we're having one of those nights where our brains just are not wanting to produce enough go-go juice to figure out how to think or talk. So, yes,
let's also think that during the time in Afghanistan, now before we got there and left billions of dollars of equipment, we're not going there. During
move quick.
The Russian war in Afghanistan, we were supplying arms and munitions and training to the Mujahideen and others that were fighting the Russians, of course, unofficially. Thank you, CIA.
Damn.
Oh yeah, there's some very stout vehicles. Not only do they have the people, but they got all their supplies on there too, and the suspension's not bottomed out, and that's in Mali.
But damn, that truck's bowing though.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
And a 50 cal in the back of a Tundra. Try doing that shit here. Watch what happens. I mean, these things, they beat the crap out of these trucks and they're just going to keep going and going. Controlled demolition. Okay, whatever. All right, so we're going to get out of his stuff there. So, as you can see, Toyota is the truck for war. As scary as that sounds. But it's great. You know, I'm glad people, have been tracking these things because I'm sure there's other stuff out there. I would bet you if you look around, you find a bunch of Coca-Cola cans. But, we're not going to say Coca-Cola is the drink of war because Lord knows what it really is.
Rip it.
Mm-hmm. For the U.S. military, yeah.
I mean, I got 3 in my fridge. I still drink them, son of a bitches.
I won't touch those things, but that's just me.
I shouldn't drink energy drinks because I'm ADHD and it makes it really bad. But
Yeah, that might not be a good thing. Not at all. So
I only drink those after 5 or 6 days of no sleep.
okay. What you got for me there, Recoil? Jumped out. Yeah. Okay. I appreciate it. Sorry you couldn't hang with us, bud. Really wish you could have. Back here. So.
Well, it's not like we won't be hopping over to his after this.
Yeah, right. Veterans Affairs work just beginning as 20 years of war end. All right. Am I the only person that reads this and says, you're fucking idiots? Last time I checked, we still have a war going on. It's in Iraq.
Just because we make a declaration and pull only half the people out and leave behind millions of dollars worth of so-called inoperable equipment doesn't mean that things are over. It just means that you chose to walk away. Just saying.
Yeah, exactly. I've read this article and yeah, I know I got nauseous from it, but I read it before I went on camera. So that's a good sign. In a nutshell, the bureaucrats that are, surprise, surprise, are under the impression that now they have to really get to work because Afghanistan has ended.
Okay, so where were they when they got caught, the Department of Veterans Affairs, not spending 20 some $1 million in suicide prevention and only begin to start funneling that money into actual, stopping the 22 suicides a day?
Uh-huh.
Where were they? I mean,
yeah, no, and
sure.
that's actually, they bring that up in here, okay? This woman was 23 years old when her tour ended. She left. She wanted to be a physician and spent her downtime as a volunteer as a medic at Kandahar. All right. And she quotes saying, I saw the worst of war and the best of humanity. This I truly believe. But here's the problem. She's got PTSD. She's got frequent migraine headaches. And it takes an act of Congress to get anything done in a reasonable amount of time. Those of us who got out know that there's no seamless transition between military and the VA. Okay? Especially if you're coming out on a med board. Most of the time when you're getting med boarded, I was one of them, non-combat, and I'm non-combat veteran. I will never say I am. If I do, I'm on drugs and I don't take them. Often. I knew you'd get something out of you for that one.
I'm just reading this article and I may actually throw my computer monitor here in a minute.
Don't do that. This is the problem with the VA, okay? They move only when something bad happens, okay? They're not going to be proactive at fucking all. Yeah, they're reactive. All right? There are veterans from Operation Desert Storm that are still trying to get benefits for the illnesses they got from serving over there. What year was that? 90, 91?
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, they're just now saying that the burn pits were a problem.
Yeah, exactly. And these have been going on for 20 years.
Oh,
And they're still going on. Okay.
But no, scroll back up a minute.
Yeah.
My favorite line is we're going to continue to be better for our vets. Really, because there's still a 3 to 5 year wait
Yeah.
for veterans to get disability.
Exactly.
For them to even remotely, you submit the paperwork and it's 3 to 5 years before you get an answer. And you're likely to be denied the first time. So you're looking at no. The fucking veterans office in fucking Winston-Salem's office fucking collapsed because there were so many claims piled in that office that the fucking floor gave out.
Yeah.
So no, go fuck yourself, Senator, whoever you are, or excuse me, VA Secretary. You're full of shit.
Yeah. And that's the way it's going to continue going. Sadly, because they're putting bureaucrats in. You know, I discussed this previously. It's, you know, how things go through the rose-colored glasses as they get passed up the food chain. Okay. And it happens in the VA too. Everything's all hunky fucking dory. But we got vets taking their lives in the parking lots of the VA after getting bad news.
And they're projecting the numbers to decline. Well, yeah, that's because we're wiping ourselves out ever so quickly. No thanks to y'all.
Exactly. I mean, it's just really disturbing to read this. If you want to read this, be my guest. It's on Military Times. All right. They're not spending anywhere near enough money. They're not paying enough money to get the right people in the right places to do the right things. Okay.
They have end of life benefits like a burial plot. Really? Because my dad was a veteran. You know how much money they gave?
$600.
$650 because he was Vietnam era.
Right.
$650.
$650 for a burial plot, which
I
runs
won't even
about
open
10
the ground.
grand.
My dad was cremated, but that won't even open the ground.
No, it won't. It's not even close. All right. Veterans can get help buying their first homes. The VA does not give money to buy your home.
No.
They guarantee the loan in the event you go tits up on it. But they don't put money towards your house. They don't give you money for a down payment.
You just get like the only thing of going through a veteran company and getting a VA home loan versus a normal home loan is you get better rates and you get lower prices. That's the only difference, unless you, like you said, you go tits up.
Right. Also, you don't have to have as high of a credit score too. You can find companies that are legitimate companies that will take the loan for a score of 580 or higher.
And the money for college thing, we get that for enlisting.
Yeah.
And serving. You don't get. They might send you to a vocational class, which there's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But literally, the money for college comes from you being
you're serving
enlisted and doing the GI Bill.
Now,
so
I think that changed after post 9/11. I don't think they have to put money in to get it now.
No, but the VA doesn't do that. The Veterans Affairs doesn't do that.
No, it doesn't.
That comes from the United States government, which I know is part, the Veterans Affairs is part of that. But it doesn't come through the Veterans Affairs. They're full of shit.
No, it does come through them. But that's all it does is go through them. They have a pot of money for college that has been set up intentionally for veterans so that they can utilize it.
But they make it sound like for some reason you spent your GI Bill, but you still got 2 more years of school. You can walk in and the VA is going to help you finish. They're not.
No, in most cases, they will not. But again, it's a bureaucracy. Okay. They're trying to say that they've got, good programs that are working and we're doing better. No, you're not. As long as we still have the average of 22 veterans a day taking their lives, you're not doing better. Period. Okay. What they need to do is really start using that program that was set up to go outside the VA for assistance. Okay. And they need to pay the normal scale for those doctors to be able to do the work.
I mean, there's a reason why. And if you go to a VA hospital, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a reason why my other half, because I won't step near a VA. They tried to have my ass locked up. Nope, won't go near them. The reason that every 6 months he's got a new fucking general doctor, because they won't fucking stay. There's a reason why they won't fucking stay. It's because they don't appreciate how they see the veterans get treated, so they move on, because they know that even though they're doing everything in their power to help a veteran, that their hands are tied. I can give you a prime example, and I'm about to stand on a soapbox. Sorry. He messed up his shoulder and needed shoulder arm repair. The doctors are like, you only have a 2 to 3 week time frame for us to repair this. So when we went to the VA, they scheduled him appointment 8 weeks out to have the MRIs and whatever tests he needed done. Luckily for him, he also has Medicaid, because he broke his back. So in the military, so he does have Medicaid too. Medicaid paid for the surgery in less than 3 weeks.
Yep.
We could not go through the VA. When we went to the surgeon, he goes, "Sir, you realize that by the time I'm done with this red tape, you're not going to have your surgery on time." He's like, "I have another form of insurance." He's like, "Oh, in that case, we're good."
Yeah. Yeah. And sadly, that's the way it is. I mean, I talked about it before. I think it was last week we talked about it. You know, my back is destroyed. I've got nerve damage going down into my legs and whatnot. And I went in to get help, and they put me on Motrin and bed rest for 2 months. Okay.
I mean, this is literally the same article, just written different, and different people saying it, that comes up every 2 to 3 years when veterans raise hell. And quite frankly, without trying to be too political, the only reason they're doing this is right now nobody's on the U.S. government side, and they're like, "Oh, well, we're going to start focusing on veterans." Maybe they'll, no, we're not dumb. We have yet to see an improvement, and your talk is cheap.
Oh, very much so. By the way, thanks for stopping in. Got some new people checking out the channel. Hope you enjoy what you're seeing. Thanks for I appreciate having you here. Hop in the chat if anything piques your curiosity, you want to talk. As it stands right now, I see zero improvement from the VA over the last 20 years. Now, here's a telling thing about the VA. I'm going to just hit this one real quick. Everybody's seen or heard the stories about the World War II soldiers that, you know, either served around, where is it? In the nuclear blasts in Japan, okay? And the nuclear tests done out in the Nevada desert. Think about the time frame. That was the mid 1940s. It wasn't until 1996. Okay, I can count. So let's just say it was 1945, because we know it was before that, but we'll say 1945. All right. You're talking 51 years. 51 years before the United States government decided, oh, that could have been our fault.
Well, think of how long it took them, even though there's reports of, they called it shell shock for World War II veterans and Vietnam.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until they started showing effects from wars in the Middle East on the younger soldiers that they even started acknowledging PTSD. Older soldiers, they would just be like, "Oh, well, that's a Vietnam vet." Because, I mean, growing up, you would hear people be like, "See their long hair, they always wore the green coat." Oh, they're just crazy. What they didn't understand is, and I had an uncle that served in Vietnam, and I've been told stories, and I'm not going to dare repeat any of them because I really don't want to set that off, but that will fuck you up. There's a reason they're fucking crazy and come out alcoholics and drug addicts.
Yeah, they're trying to put those demons in check. All right.
But it wasn't acknowledged until, it wasn't even in the 90s, because I was in it 96. So it was probably early 2000s before they even started acknowledging PTSD and shit as a real deal.
Well, my problem is we all knew what it was. Everybody knew what it was, but they weren't doing anything.
We just didn't know what to call it.
Oh, we knew what to call it. All right, but they changed the name to post-traumatic stress disorder to make it sound a little softer. Okay? As opposed to, I had shit blow up next to my head and my brain's fucking scrambled.
Or other things. But again, I don't want to go too deep because you do have a lot of new people, and not that I wouldn't help them. I just don't want to set up. I just don't want to set off any bad memories. So
No. I understand. Now, keep this in mind. All right, everybody. We're at the top of the page. You can see here, I got a veteran crisis line. Reach out if you need to. If you think you need to, you got a loved one or a friend that might be in need. Check in with them. Get them some help. They're not going to automatically put you in the hospital, okay? But they may be able to guide you into the direction to get the help you need to stay functional, and take care of your families and yourself and that kind of thing. Please take the time, especially this time of year. Reach out.
you can also jump into this Discord or Recoil's Discord, because if you don't want to call that hotline, because I know some vets that will not call that hotline, we got other resources.
Yep. Go to DV Recoil 1's Discord. There's almost always somebody on. Unfortunately for me, I'm still fairly new to this and I'm building my community, so I don't have a 24/7 availability in it just yet. So, just talk. If that's all you need to do is talk and vent, somebody's here for you. I'll do it if I'm available. I've said
And
it
there
before.
Recoil and I have an interesting history of being trained to. I guess veteran crisis would be the best description of it. So reach out, please.
Yeah, please. Okay, we'd rather talk to you for an hour or 2 or 4 than to see a news article about you deciding it's too
I want
much
to
to
throw
go
that
on.
in there because this one, and the only reason, and sorry to jump in your stream on that, but it's just we're talking about past memories, and it does make people perk up.
It does, and that's why I wanted to make sure I threw the number out there and everything at this point. So, all right, moving on. An unprecedented survey has asked, why do soldiers leave or stay in the Army?
Because it's the Army. I mean, what?
Do we really have to ask this? All right, it's an exit survey. Now we're going to scroll down. We're going to hit the top 5 of why soldiers leave the Army, right? Here's why they're leaving. The effects of deployments on family or personal relationships. Oh, who'd have thought?
I mean, that's kind of when you sign up, you kind of know that, I would think.
But sometimes a lot of soldiers come in single and get into relationships, and now they're being torn away and things like that. So, the impacts of Army life on significant others' career plans and goals. Yes.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Very much so. Okay.
I mean, the spouse, especially if the person is deployed, they literally got to uproot their life. So I totally understand that.
Well, it's not even that. Let's say your significant other has career plans as they're a federal employee. Well, now that you're being, PCS to another duty station, can they or can they not continue their career by relocating with you?
Well, I mean, I'm also saying that, like, say you're in college full time and you have a little one, well, mom or dad deploys, so you no longer have that backup help so you can do your homework and stuff. A lot of people have to put their college, their career, they can't take that promotion because they need to travel, but they can't. I mean, I get that. I get that.
No question about it. Impacts of Army life on family plans for children. Oh, hell yeah.
I understand that.
All right. The degree of stability or predictability of Army life.
The only thing you can predict is it's going to be unpredictable. I mean, that's given any branch.
Right. But it's, I don't know that I'm going to be staying at this duty station long enough for my kids to get into high school. Because in most cases, once your kids hit high school, the Army will lock you in place until they graduate. Okay. So, you're there 3 to 5 years in most cases, and then you're off somewhere else. Not that that's a bad thing. That's the way the military needs to work. But again, you need to have some level of stability for the families and the soldiers.
I mean, I know it's easy for people on the outside to go, well, then don't get married, don't have children. But I don't know why everybody seems to think that we enlist for some great noble cause. Yes, it is to serve your country, but people enlist to get away from home. People enlist because they're about to be homeless and they need an income and the job market was in the tank. People enlist for all kinds of different reasons. So it's really easy to sit at home, never have raised your right hand, and go, well, then you should have stayed single, or you shouldn't have
Yeah.
done it if you had this or this. But what you don't understand is sometimes this may be the only way that they can get out of
Yeah.
what the situation they're in. So screw you to the
Oh.
people who sit on a couch and tell me how I should live my life.
Wait till we get to the reasons why people stayed. Okay.
Oh God.
So, and the impact of military service on my family's well-being, that kind of goes in with everything above it as far
Oh
as I'm
yeah. I
concerned.
mean, there are other. I mean, they're literally 5 in 1. It's all basically the same
Right.
situation. And like I said, I get it. I really get it.
Yep.
Some families are built for it. I know my buddy in Alaska, who, by the way, is getting ready to run for senator in Alaska. He stayed in for 25 years, and his children did so well, and his wife did so well with having to move and going to, to another country. And sometimes he would
Yeah.
go to a country they couldn't go to. But not every family, especially if, and I'm totally going off the topic here, but I've noticed that a lot of military ends up with children with special needs. I
Yes.
don't know if it's the chemicals, the shots, what it is.
It
But
could very
it's
well
not
be.
it's not that easy when you have somebody that maybe is autistic that has to have a set routine, is uprooted every 18 months. That's
Exactly.
hell on that kid. So I get it.
Yeah, and there are programs for that, but it's whether the Army sticks to it is a whole nother story. Now, let's go down to the 5 reasons they stayed. I call bullshit on number 1. Opportunity to serve my country.
Now, here's the thing. True story. Now, I will be the end of my line because my son's not going, but every generation in my family had somebody enter the military. My dad, my grandfather, my great-grandfather. I was not breaking that tradition, but I also grew up in the fucking bumfucked Egypt of the Appalachian, and there was nothing. And I knew from about age 10 that I was not going to be going to college and becoming the local school's teacher.
Yeah.
I always knew I would go in the service, but it wasn't just because I'm serving my country.
Yeah.
There was that I got to get out of here.
Exactly. Now, these are all the re-enlistments. So, how well my retirement pay or benefits will meet my future needs. We'll talk about that in a minute, okay? Opportunities to lead or train soldiers.
I think that's a lie right there.
That's a bold-faced lie, okay? My sense of purpose. Now, that may be true. 38%. Okay, I'll give you that.
Okay, I'll give them that one.
And then how well my pay or benefits meet my present needs. 37%.
I feel like that should only be like 10.
Okay. Now, keep in mind, let's talk about who's re-enlisting, okay? In most cases, you find maybe a single or newly married soldier. But if they've got a family of 2 or more, with 2 or more kids, then chances are they're in that other percentile where they've bailed, okay? They've gotten out to provide stability for their families, okay? Now, let's go back up to the retirement pay and benefits, right? It's the senior officers that were influenced by that, not anybody else. Okay. Well, except for maybe your senior enlisted. But let's be clear. Officers are getting paid a shit ton of money.
Oh, I was going to say,
Right.
I know people that did their 20 and the pay ain't that great after.
Not when they get out.
No, I mean, like their retirement benefits ain't all that.
Well, it's their spending habits that they get accustomed to. I mean, imagine being a colonel in the Army with 18 years in. I'm not going to look to scale up, but it's upwards of $70,000, $80,000 a year before taxes, of course, if not more now. But you don't have to pay for anything but your car insurance and your not even your electric bill. You're getting all this stuff that's included because of your rank. Now, again, senior enlisted, same way. And then when you get out, now all of a sudden you have half the income coming in, and you have to pay for a mortgage or rent, homeowners insurance, all this other stuff that you did not have to pay for beforehand. And they're not really prepared for it in some cases. Right. So, yeah, all right. Ish.
You say so.
All right. Last story of the night. Meticulous restoration underway at the Air Force Academy Chapel. I don't know if you've been able to see the chapel before, but it's a beautiful structure. I had the ability to tour it a couple of years ago before they turned it into a box. They are doing asbestos removal and a bunch of other stuff to update, especially the exterior of the chapel. I can't wait till it's unveiled. They don't have a completion date just yet, but the Air Force is stepping up their game on taking care of that chapel. It is a beautiful, beautiful structure.
Well, we bougie like that.
Now I say that now I worked at the military academy at West Point back in 2002 and 2003, and I have been to the chapel there and several of the historic buildings. That's also just a beautiful place, and the history that goes along with it is just phenomenal. I don't miss the winter there, but I'd go back if I were able to. If you're in those areas and you haven't done it, go see these installations. Go see the history that goes along with a lot of them before they decide that it becomes too woke and they start changing shit.
Fake woke.
Exactly. So with that, we're going to call it a night on the show. I appreciate everybody stopping in. Thanks for phoning in. Jay Carey, I appreciate you bringing everybody in. And then I hope to see everybody come back in. I'm going to be on again Wednesday night. I'll have a co-host. I don't know who it's going to be, but I think I'm going to hire Nevermore. She's just awesome.
When he says hire, he means like I'm going to be doing it for free, but in return, he has to help me with my podcast. So
I'm going to be begging her. That's all there is to it. I'm going to beg and plead.
Now, and I'm not trying to like promote other people, but we generally are fucking off every night of the week in some form or another. It may not be a live stream, but there's a whole gaming community. You can come over and visit Darky Poo and he'll tell you where to go, or you can come find us wherever we may be, which is all in one place. He can say it if he wants. Like I said, I'm not trying to promote, but
if no, I don't have a problem because he's got some more resources than I do. Go check out DV Recoil 1 if you haven't already. He does a stream on Twitch at least 3 nights a week right now. I think he's going to have to change his schedule. He was saying due to some schedule changes at home with the family. So, but go check him out. Usually you'll find me on there too in the background. I'm usually playing the games with him and, starting trouble. That's my job.
And it's not one type of, we're not one type of gamer. There's all kinds of shit going on. You never know if we're killing each other or freaking farming.
Exactly. So with that, hey, again, if you need to reach out, if not to me or Recoil, hit that 800 number, send a text. You can send a text without actually having to speak to anybody. Really appreciate all of you stopping in tonight. And I do hope to see you again. But until then, you have anything to send us off with, Nevermore?
Don't put your dick in a toaster. It's not good for you.
Yeah, well, you can. Just don't turn it on.
Unplug it first, please.
Yeah, that would probably be the best bet. But otherwise, everybody, thanks again for stopping in and watching the show. I appreciate you. Take care of yourselves. Take care of